Hey there everyone, this is Kay and you're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome. Thank you for joining with me today. It's lovely to have you here again today for this general reading for the collective. We're going to be using the decks of Zero Marchetti and Intuit Tarot. And these ones, the Intuit Tarot, are for clarifying. All right. So if anybody wants to get going, say yay. Yay! Okay, so remember, if you want to book a private reading, the link to my website page for that is in the description box below this video. Okay, Archangel Michael, my Holy Spirit, please guide and assist me today with correctly interpreting the energies in the cards and to help me see clearly. Thank you. Archangel Michael and my Holy Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective today in this general read for Thursday, December the 7th, 2023? All right. Past, present, and future, guys. Near future. Look at here. Ooh. Okay, look what we have. We have poverty. Well, I think it was like, what way would it be? It would be this one, right? This was one that was on the bottom. This one was on the top. Okay, poverty, marriage. That's the past. Future. Amaze. Trial and error and starting from the beginning. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. And near future. Message of concern. That darn card comes out a whole lot, guys. I would like to say, I'm having a drink of water. I'd like to say it's a message concerning something. Not necessarily a concerning message. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Archangel Michael and my Holy Spirit, what can you give us for clarification of these top three cards? For the first one, the past card of poverty. We have marriage. What else do you have for us? That's a partnership, which could be a marriage. Collective. Thoughts about that. Okay, thoughts about that. Thoughts about the perfect person. The image of a perfect person that you feel would be just right for you. Okay, trial and error. This is the maze card, please. We have the tower card, which is not the same as the tower it's the opposite. It's like this is not crumbling. This is saying this is solid and strong, and it's about having a vantage point in the sense that you can get all the way up to the top of the tower and see out across the land to see how safe and secure your castle or kingdom is, or institution, organization, or corporation is. Could do with higher education as well. If you're starting, just listen to my cat play with the toy. But there's message card number 1. This is more of the frivolous kind. The other one's with the owls in it. And it's about, getting a message, a communication from someone or you're sending one that's going to be in the form of an email, text, voicemail, or phone call. Okay. Message of concern or message concerning what? Archangel Michael. The Sun. Happily ever after, right? The Sun. And the Park card, which is all about public spaces. Just whatever could be publicly known, publicly showing people how happy you are, or how happy you're going to be, or just publicly showing up as being enlightened and very, very happy. All right, guys, let's get into tarot. So, as you can see, there's somebody. Poverty is like being impoverished, right? It's about not having the best of what others have and working very hard for it. Like this little guy here, you know, back in the 1800s, they were used as chimney sweeps. Who cares if their lungs were filled with soot, charcoal, whatever, and you know, the dangerous dust, or if they fell, you know, through the chimney, off the roof. Who cared? They're just a kid. They're just a kid. So and then they got like maybe paid, if they got paid 50, like, probably not even 50 cents, guys. Probably like a penny. They probably got paid like a penny. And so they obviously didn't have an illustrious job, did they? It was not respected. They were not respected. It's something that had to be done. Everybody's chimney needed to be swept. And so what if kids got sick from the work that they did or died? There would always be another kid to replace it. So, you know, as opposed to losing a spouse or, you know, someone important like an adult in your life, like if you were to hire somebody, an adult, to do it, then if they got sick or died, then the whole family would suffer, as opposed to if a child was doing the work, just, you know, just the parents, well, the whole family suffers, but not financially. Maybe financially, depending on how much you got paid, but not likely very much. And so, yeah. And if you wanted to do your own chimney, it was better to hire a kid, someone else's kid, to do it instead of the adult doing it, or you wouldn't put your own kid up there, right? Well, you might not. You might. Depends on who you are back then, right? But yeah, why not hire someone else's kid to take the risk instead of the adult, like the husband doing it? Because then if something happened to him, he got sick and he fell off the roof or died, got injured really bad, then that income, whatever he was drawing in, would be gone. All right, so marriage and thoughts about marriage. So to me, this tells me that someone's been thinking very, very hard about this partnership here in the past, okay? So this is done. It's done. It's already done. Let's have a look. And then starting from ground zero, basically out here, trying to figure out how to get there. It's trial and error, butting up against dead ends, having to turn around and double track, you know, and but it's the safety and the security, or the institution itself, that has got you feeling like you're having to start all over again, because you know you don't have that in this anymore. If you ever did, and you probably did in the beginning, at least, if not most of the way. Let's just see what happens here. Poverty. We got Knight of Wands, Six of Wands, and the Lovers with Hierophant. Let's have a look. Knight of Wands, Six of Wands, the Lovers, Hierophant. So this could well be a marriage. Let me see something. I want to see if this says divorce on here at all. Marriage is definitely there. Religious traditions. Non-conforming, unconventional life choices, alternative lifestyles, freedom. Challenge the status quo and think for yourself. Isn't that funny, huh? Yeah, but anyways, I would say these cards are what they're speaking of, is that your spouse, whoever, whether you're female or male, for this reading, collective, your spouse, got a little off course, if you know what I'm saying. Vain, conceited, pride before fall, self-centered, failure, disgraced, yeah, show off, being a follower, egocentric. I think that they were relying too much on their pride and ego, and maybe their libido, and they got into a lover situation with making you, or you making them, competition for it, and it had to do with the marriage, it's the institution itself. So we just keep going. Archangel Michael keeps reminding me about doing all three at once. Marriage card, please. King of Coins, Nine of Swords, the Hermit, Ten of Swords, there's the betrayal. Now Thoughts card, Winter Solstice, which is timing a year or more to tie up loose ends, validating your feelings, hibernating in winter. Second, Emperor, Five of Wands, Full Moon, I'm going to pick another one, and the Six of Swords. Not interesting. You're the King of Coins. That's who we're talking to right now, is the King of Coins, okay? You're the King of Coins. Being, back in the day, being very 3D focused, you met somebody who was much like that too, without getting into it too much, because I've talked about it in great length in other videos, collective videos. So, she, though, however, I guess she felt like, you know, your spouse or long-term partner felt like that she was missing out on something, you know, wasn't getting her fair share. And so whatever that means to her, so that she decided to play the field. I'm thinking here, because what I'm thinking is that this is you having thoughts of somebody else, right? But you're a husband, and there's been a lot of conflict in your life. You're wanting to move on from this, okay? Because you're thinking about somebody else, or she is. I think it's you. And this could have been you in the past, where you were feeling like you were impoverished, not getting what you felt like you deserved to have. If things were not as, flowing and abundant in the intimacy, and just the closeness of a relationship with your spouse or partner. So you stepped out and had a Knight of Wands, player time, because this just fed your ego, right? Just fed your ego. I'd say this is a dual thing, where this is you and this is your spouse, okay? This is you and your spouse. You stepped out. Now, whether or not this is the spouse you're with right now, like in the most recent past, or the spouse you were with before this spouse, depending on how many times you've been married, or in long-term commitment with different people. So you may have been the Knight of Wands, playing it up, having a great time, thinking that you'll get some more on the side somewheres. That'll kind of even things out for how you might have felt in your relationship with your spouse, long-term partner. Because you were feeling very, very, you were feeling, this is all pride and ego stuff. And you were also feeling triumphant in the sense that the lover that you took on made you feel really good. It was a really good decision on your part, or so you thought. But the higher morale of the superego would tell you that Freudian superego would tell you that that's not necessarily what you should do, right? And so because you're married, right? Because you're married. So King of Coins, you had a choice between two. Obviously somebody you were committed to. Maybe the Queen of Coins. We don't see her here, but we can assume that because usually the King and the Queen of Coins are committed, and most often in marriage. So, or, long-term stuff. So you, regarding your marriage, started feeling like she was doing this. She had been doing this, you see. First you did it, whether it was with this one or not. First you did it, and then she did it. Now you're in the Nine of Swords feeling what it must feel like to have done it, to have put someone, your spouse, in that position. Threw you into dark night of the soul phase of your life in the past, where you did some serious soul searching, praying to God to find out how you're going to get out of this mess, because you know why you're in the mess. Now it's about how. Just psychology is why you're in the mess, and it would be because you needed to seriously do some spiritual development to grow, so that you would do the right thing, instead of doing what you thought was good for you, and taking advantage of other people's hearts and doing whatever you wanted to do because there was opportunities for you to do it, and so you took it. Didn't mean it was the right thing to do, though. So the winter solstice came along. You did a lot of hibernating, okay? But during that time, you were growing. You're a husband here, though, still. But you're on your way to taking charge. But there's a whole lot of conflict and drama in your life to try and do so. But the full moon is telling us that you are seeing what it is that is keeping you stuck in the ways of player days, keeping you stuck like that because your spouse has been mirroring back to you with her own clandestine affairs, what it feels like to be the one that's on the opposite end, right? What it feels like, and you're saying it doesn't feel very emotionally fulfilling. That is for sure. In fact, it's darn right painful to see that my spouse that I married, and I thought everything about, I regarded her highly, and now she's doing what I used to do. I decided I'm not going to do that anymore, and I put that way of thinking, at least, you put that need to have someone else in your life away. Whatever your life circumstances were, it helped you do that, right? And maybe the wife that you have here is just super hot, and I mean, like, she's great, has a lot of passion and vitality in the bedroom and whatnot. Just making things really a lot of fun. Just making things a lot of fun. But you didn't need to step out. You didn't. You had everything that you wanted right there in your own house, within your own four walls. But something happened that she didn't. Or perhaps she married you for other reasons than than what a marriage can offer. The security and safety, but just the fact that you have somebody who, you're in love with somebody, they're in love with you, and you just feel like, I don't want to live my life without that person in it. Maybe she didn't have those feelings. We don't know, but it's all relative, right? So it's whatever works for you. So let's press on to to the present day. Pressing on to the present day. What about the maze? Archangel Michael, please tell us about the maze. The maze. Okay. We have the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the Ace of Coins. Yeah, that tells me a lot. And we got on the back Judgment. Okay, great. So, Eight of Swords, yeah. I mean, this would be very highly distressing to have to go from what you thought was it. You know, you thought was it, and you knew, you thought you knew, in other words, you knew what direction your life was going because you had your spouse, your partner, kids and whatnot. Everything was on track for what it is you wanted out of life. And then suddenly everything just kind of hit the wall, and you're now like leaving that foundation, that security, that safety. And it just seemed like it was a very excuse me, a very firm foundation that you were building a life on. But because this is tarot, and this is all about the divine bringing things into your awareness, okay, about the past, present, and what could be your future. This would tell me that you are not, with this being tarot, it tells me that you are not with a true soulmate. You're with a karmic soulmate, or you were in the past, okay? This is your true soulmate, the one you've been thinking about all the time, even while you were married to this one. So this one here might have been the one that you stepped out, brought in as a lover into your life while you were married or partnered up with somebody else. Whether it was this one or someone before, I don't know. Excuse me. So yeah, you have been feeling a lot of conflict in your heart and in your mind, not to mention the conflict your wife was bringing you because you guys were arguing a lot. Five of Wands, she had you in a competition with somebody else. The lover she was choosing, she had you in competition with it. So there was a lot of arguments, a lot of disagreements about things because your emotions were changing. Your feelings were changing about each other. Things were not the same way as they had used to be. So that meant that the two of you were not on the same page anymore. You weren't seeing eye to eye. You weren't in agreement. You were disagreeing with each other on many different things simply because your feelings were changing towards each other. And it was a little easier for you. Maybe it was easier for her too. Okay, I'm just going to say maybe she had somebody on her mind from the past. Okay, that she's doing this with, okay? But you had somebody on your mind, so it's a little easier for you because of your interaction with that one from the past was like that energy that you had with them when you had her as a lover. It was dynamic, it was charismatic, it was great, it was fun. It may have gotten serious, but it couldn't be realized, and so things went south. Of course, you had to go your separate ways. But yeah, that great time that you had with that person was like it fed your ego, yes, but it was also like there was a time there that your heart was being tapped on. Like, remember me down here? That's why you have these admiring, you see these qualities in her that you admire. That is because it's something that is resonating with you at the heart level. And so you started really feeling more at the heart level with this one than you had done at any other time in your life with anyone else, okay? It was something new for you. So with that, you feel like you are starting from the beginning, but with a slightly different energy in you, because you're remembering that. You see that? But with that said, though, it's not easy to leave something that has been what you felt was a solid foundation. It brought you a lot of distress, and you just were like, I don't know what to do. I can't see my way forward. You were a wounded warrior. You needed to be able to, you know, stand up for yourself and create some boundaries and be courageous. You know, get back into your grit. That, you know, take charge and control of your life. Just a second. Water. And the divine stepped in, because divine heard your heart murmuring back here, especially after the days, well, during and after the days that you said goodbye to her, but she was still in your heart, she was still in your mind. You weren't able to just let her go. You tried. You really, really, really tried. You did, but you just couldn't do it. And the divine said, you know, we're going to pluck you out of there, because you need to follow your heart, because your two hearts, you have purpose. Each one of us do. You have a purpose. And if you're whittling it away with thinking, oh, I'm just going to sit here in my easy chair and just watch TV and chew on popcorn until I'm 99 years old and then I'll die. No, 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 no. You didn't come here to this life to say, I will do that. You came into this life because you had a purpose. And everyone has a purpose. Some purposes might be really a lot bigger than other purposes. When you think about Gates, right? Bill Gates. What was his purpose, right? It was at least for that, to bring the computer into the home. It was for that, but I'm sure he's got bigger purposes as well, maybe. Let's see, Sir Charles, what's his name? Richard Branson. His Virgin Airlines, to help people go from one place to another, and you know, to get around to see families and stuff like that. And he's into all sorts of other things too. But he's like a philanthropist. Yes, he's into all sorts of things that have to do with being a leader by being a follower first. So he knows, it's just like over here, you know what it's like now, because you were engaging in extramarital pursuits yourself, and it hurt the one that you did that to. Now, and this one too, where you brought them into your marriage as a third party. Now the one that you chose over her, the one that you chose over her, when you were with or still with, she's been doing it to you. So you had to be, you had to be a follower from this in order for you to know how to lead yourself out of this. Because you were in this mindset here. No, you were in this mindset here. Okay, what she was doing then too, because this is double, remember, dual meaning for both of you, that it put you into this, right? And then into hermit land and what do you call it? Hibernation. To try and figure out which way you go, because your heart is in so much pain. You just couldn't get a really good grip on the direction you were supposed to be headed in, but all you knew was that you were hitting dead ends, right? You were hitting dead ends, and things are feeling like, right now they're feeling like I'm having to start all over again and start building a foundation again. But with who? Well, with yourself, first of all, you and God, side by side. You and God, okay? Because this card can actually represent God, the divine. But it could be with this one next, right? And so you made a decision that you're going to follow your heart. Now, whether or not you're following it because you're following your heart to someone else or just doing something else in your life, it's whatever it is for you. But you made a decision to do that because you were feeling judged by the divine. Yeah, this is karma. Okay, what she was giving to you is karma. You created karma with this one, and the wife, either this wife or the wife before, or the wife before that, who knows, the partner. But the divine says you follow your heart, and the divine has all sorts of big blessings to pour into your life, so that whatever you need for resources to get yourself on the path, you're on the path now, but to get yourself further towards and closer to your desires that you have for goals, then the divine is going to be helping you with all sorts of things like people, places, and things that need to show up in your life at the right time, in the right place, for the right reason, right? Stuff like that. And giving you signs and synchronicities so that you can say, okay, this must be a sign. I guess what I was thinking about before, getting a, who knows, my car, here in the States, you have to get it registered, inspected every 2 years. And then you get a sticker stuck on your windshield. It's good for 2 years. But you might be, if you were like that, you might be saying, well, in order for me to use my car and use it legally and safely, I'm going to have to get it inspected. I know it's coming up soon that I need to have it inspected. So the divine kind of places that thought in your mind, and it seems like you're just thinking it, but you're not. You're being reminded that, yeah, go ahead and get your sticker as soon as possible. This, if it's coming due at the end of the month, this month, go ahead and get that done, so that when you're ready to leave this location to go to another location, that you can get in your car and do that, and do it safely and legally, right? So now I have a cat coughing. Okay, let's talk about foundation right here, okay? And we'll talk about the message card, the birds one there, birds number 1, 2, before I'll get the cards for that, is what I'm saying. All right, King of Wands, High Priestess, Knight of Coins, and the 8 of Cups. Okay, so for birds message card number 1, birds. It's birds, called birds, but it's about communication. That's what birds represent. Truth and communication. Three of Cups, Ace of Cups, Knight of Swords, and the 10 of Pentacles with the Sun right there. Are you okay, Fuddy? Having a little coughing fit back there? Okay, so that's what I see here, is that King of Wands, High Priestess, Knight of Coins, 8 of Cups. I think that you have stepped into your take charge, take control. I want to take action right now. You're thinking about, you want to take action. You want to do it. You really do. But you're still keeping it under wraps. Whatever you know and what you know you want to do, you're not telling anyone. You're keeping it under wraps. And you're moving very, very slowly so as not to be noticed. Very, very slowly, not in a deceptive way, just making sure that whatever you do is not going to meet resistance, in the sense that obstacles might be put on your path by family, friends, this person here, your spouse. But you want to walk away from the past and into the light. You're walking away from the darkness here to the light. So your old ways that you've been letting go of during hermit time, soul searching, and hibernating during the winter solstice, you're putting all those behaviors away. And if anyone's going to be Knight of Wandy-ish, if you want to say that, player like, it would be the King of Wands, okay? But you're well aware of this at this point in time. So this is more like you wanting to put those days away. Put those days away. Put that mindset away. You've been putting it away for a while. That's why you're a King of Coins over here. King of Pentacles, you've been maturing. You've been growing in your craft, whatever that craft is. And I don't mean in the player way craft. I mean what you do for work, your career. You have been growing in it, becoming very solid in it, and becoming quite prosperous because of it. You're quite wealthy, the King of Pentacles is. Someone who earns a good living. You might have a good position in your company too. Whether you work for someone else or you work, you're online as an entrepreneur. You could be an entrepreneur, not even online. So it is what it is. But you're doing quite wealthy. You just never had whatever you had for taking charge, taking control of your life is coming back to you now. Present day, it's coming back to you. It's like you feeling more self-empowered again, because this whole experience with, and I'm not going to say right from day one, but at some point for some time, this whole experience with your chosen love interest over this one here, this one that you chose to be with and marry, she's been sucking the life out of you in one way or another. I mean, you're allowing it, obviously. No one can suck the life out of you unless you allow it. But you were allowing it because for one reason or another, you were feeling like it was just the way it was. I mean, that's what married life is about. We all have our problems and our little arguments about stuff. We're not always going to see eye to eye, blah, 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 blah. But she was bringing all sorts of attitudes and behaviors that were toxic into your married life, and just in the external world, in the neighborhood, in just your community, okay, that you were just not too sure about. And you didn't feel like it was anything that you really wanted to be involved in. But this is your wife, so yeah, it's about time for you to be able to get up in the tower here, look across the land in your environment, in your landscape, and say, I need to build a real solid foundation this time. This time it's got to be a solid foundation. I feel like I can have that with somebody that I met in the past. I feel like it's perhaps somebody I met in the past that I could do that with. So I need to communicate with her. I need to communicate with her. That's what you're thinking. You want to take charge and control of doing this. So this Three of Cups means that you want to reunite with her. You want to do it in, like, even socially, just so it's like, if it's been a while since you've talked to her, you might just offer to take her out for breakfast, or take her out for coffee sometime in the afternoon. Just something that was really light. Just reconnecting with each other again. Just making that first reconnection. And then again, this is all about love. Cups is about love. The divine steps in again and says, you do that, you follow your heart and do that, we'll pave the way for you with a brand new opportunity of love, of a path of love for you. But you must seize the opportunity. Do not fail to do this. Seize the opportunity and lay it all out there. Tell your love interest what it is that she needs to know, and be honest, truthful, and transparent all the way, because this is the one that you're going to have a legacy that you're going to be able to build with. Lump sums of money coming your way. It's a 10 of Pentacles life. It's a long-term commitment, and a long-term ever after commitment, and happily ever after, right? It's your road to freedom and optimism, but feeling very, very positive, and you're just going to be radiant. Really, you're going to be radiant. This is radiant energy. This is you knowing what it is you want. She makes you incredibly happy. You know that, but you need to know for sure that you have to come forward right in, like, I have gotten something really important to tell you. I got to tell you right now, kind of energy, okay? She needs to know. So that's what's going on right now. So let's talk about the near future with the message that's concerned something. What is this message concerning? It could be concerning something good, right? That phrase, message concerning, doesn't necessarily mean it's something to be concerned about. So let's have a look. Archangel Michael, are you okay, Fuddy? Yeah, you coughed for quite some time. The King of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and the Four of Swords. Very interesting. You know what? I'm going to do it all. Just like Archangel Michael keeps reminding me, do it all. Just put them all out there. Okay, Sun, please, Archangel Michael. Strategy to get back in good graces and not make her defensive towards you. Sun, Nine of Cups, yeah. Temperance, oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Hangman time, and the Page of Coins with the Eight of Wands on the back. Okay. Let's go for the Park card number 20, please, Archangel Michael. One more. That wasn't much. Okay. Seven of Coins, so Seven of Pentacles. Solar eclipse. Big changes are coming in about 6 months. Wow. Find your inner truth. Six of Cups, there she is from the past. Pull one more. Oh, there's the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Swords with the Fool and the Chariot and the Star. Okay, Fool, Chariot, and the Star. So you are putting away the past where you were being like, acting like a crazy man, acting like, you know, being deceptive and lying, trying to get what you wanted. This is selfish behavior, okay? It's all about self-interest. It's trying to get away with things. But truth has come in, and you've had to cut things, that way of thinking and behaving. Those beliefs that you had to try and get away with stuff, otherwise you wouldn't get what you want. You had to put that belief away, and that's a childish belief. That's one from childhood. That's one like, I got to steal this candy when no one's looking, otherwise no one's going to offer it to me. I have to take it. That's just simple, but move it on up into bigger and more concerning ways of behaving, right? Which is like trying to get into a relationship with somebody, knowing full well that you really can't be who you say you are, which is you're single and ready to mingle. So therefore, you're just not who you say you are. You're wearing a mask there. You're putting all that away. This is past behavior, okay? This is her person from the past. This is your past childhood wounding behavior. So the message is going to be concerning that you have a strategy, and you have figured out how to manifest a new beginning for yourself by cutting away and ruthlessly, bluntly, but in a way that's not necessarily ruthless, but it's what needed to be done. So you are going to be doing things by the book from now on. That's what your message here is going to parlay to her. This message is concerning that you're doing it by the book, that you are not in that self-serving energy anymore, and that the cup of love that she offered you in the past, you're hoping that she's still willing to offer it to you again. You're going to tell her that, right? And you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it in a way that she's going to put up some boundaries. So she's going to have boundaries put up, but you don't want to push her away. So you're going to tell her, I don't want you to feel defensive about me coming back into your life. In fact, I just would like us to heal. you know, for us to think about it and just consider it over time. Consider it over time and realize that perhaps we're meant to be together. Perhaps. You know, you know, you're going to say, I've gone within and I realize that the way I've been living my life is just not been bringing me what it is I was hoping to get. It wasn't working out that way for me. So, where are we here? I want to tell you that you are the one I feel emotionally fulfilled. If I could have you in my life, you would tick all of my boxes. I would be incredibly happy, right here, incredibly happy. I would feel calm and, you know, balanced inside. I would just feel peaceful. You, I know, are you. I've, you know, but yeah. I think that's the energy you are in. I have been hanging myself upside down so I could have a new perspective on how I've been behaving. And I know it was very bad. I was behaving badly towards you. I see that now from having to look at it, having time in hermit land, in the winter solstice of the hibernation phase of my life. I have been able to see things a lot differently. And I have some truth to tell you. I want to tell you truth. I see you as my Ten of Pentacles and my Sun. Okay, but however, because I plan to move slowly in the sense that there's no pressure on you whatsoever. I am moving from that to this, so I'm cool with slow. I would love to just have you back in my life, even if we're just friends at first. It says laying a foundation. I would like to lay a new foundation with you. Because my old ones crumbled, my old ones crumbled and it's gone. I have the ability to lay a new foundation, and I want to do it with you, right? So, this is, you know, you're going to have big happy changes if you, wait a minute, let me look at this again. Okay, yeah. Seven of Coins is that I have been looking at the past and I've been realizing that I want more than what I was settling for in the past, having been with the one that I chose over you. I want to persevere and have a long-term commitment with you so that we can sow seeds together with the love that we have for each other. We can plant new seeds that I feel is just going to, you know, blossom and bloom and be tenfold abundant. You know, we're going to have a really great, prosperous, and abundant life together. And whatever good works you're going to do together, then it's just going to bring in a different bounty than what you were settling for before in the past. A different bounty. And the reason why you only have Seven of Coins is because you were in this, wait a minute, this I think is supposed to be like this. I don't know, I can't remember now, but it doesn't matter. It's just a solar eclipse one. Big changes. Because I was in the Seven of Swords behavior with this, I'm going to be leaving that behind. I have already started leaving that behind. If not, I've already left it behind. And that's the truth, because this is my past behaviors. Especially when in the past I was with you, that's exactly how I operated as a player. Because I couldn't be with you, but I was with you. But this is all going to come out. No, this is truth. This is truth, clarity, and honesty. This is transparency. And this is integrity. And this, again, being an ace, you have the Ace of Cups, Ace of Coins. There's no Ace of Wands, which is fine. But the Ace of Swords right here, another divine. You do this, you come in with your clarity. Where are you? The Knight of Swords. You come with your clarity. You come with your love. You get the Ace of Cups. You come with your decision to follow your heart in the first place, just to follow your heart, right? You get the Ace of Coins. Okay, you're going to be funded, you know, like resourced through the world. People, places, and things are going to come to you, and they might even show up at a time when You just think, how could that possibly be? But it is. And then if you go towards her knowing that your plan is to be like very, very truthful. This is how I feel about you. This is how I feel. This is what I did to you. This is what I would like to do with us together. And this is what I had to do in order for me to get to where I want to be, and that's with you. The divine says, okay, your path is now full of truth. Like, look at this, okay? You might have thought you were being truthful and honest with each other, you two here, this married couple. But did it turn out that way? No. She betrayed you. 10 of Swords. This, the divine is saying, you hook up with her again, and it's going to be all about truth and honesty, clarity and integrity. This is the way, following your heart. This is the way with the swords, the cups and the coins, and the Ace of Wands, if it were to have come out. That's the way to create a very extremely abundant life. Extremely abundant in all departments, not just financially, like prosperously. You're going to be abundant in your health. Your health's going to get better. You're going to be abundant in whatever work you're doing. It's going to be successful. Okay, and of course that brings in great finances, right? And you're going to be really abundant in your love department for the first time, really, in such a different way than you've ever felt before. This is going to be new to you. This really is. It might feel like it's not at first, but I'll tell you, once the two of you connect like this, you're meant to be with each other. It's going to be like boom, like this. But like, fireworks, right? But those fireworks is what it's doing, shooting out all these different desires that you have into the energy of the world, the universe. And it's going to find what it matches, and it's going to bring it into your life. You're going to, because you're master manifestors now. You're master manifestor. You're not manifesting by default, which is what most of us are doing every day, because we're allowing our subconscious and all the muck and the mire, or the cesspool that's down in our subconscious mind. We're allowing those fears and thoughts and beliefs and attitudes and opinions that live down there. It's in the darkness kind of thing, to bubble up into your conscious mind or unconscious mind, to the point where you're operating from that. You're operating from this blah, 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 yucky stuff. You had been. But if you start looking into your subconscious mind to see what fears have been holding you back from having what you could have with this one, if the two of you do come together, you will, feel like a totally different man or woman. Totally different man or woman. And I can say that because that is, it was up till I was in my 40s that I come to learn, because I read every book I could possibly get my hands on, but I come to learn that that's what's going on in our subconscious mind. That we're operating by default from those, because if we're not looking at it and purposely choosing those, because those negative thoughts come up into our mind all the time. If we're not choosing to have those come up, they're just coming up, and then we operate from that, and that's by default, right? It's like the airplane that's on autopilot. But yeah, I learned that, and when I started realizing that, hey, this is something I should really look into, because I'm miserable otherwise. Relatively speaking, of course, it wasn't every day that it was like that. But I decided, I really want to see what's going on down there in my cesspool. And my cesspool was resourced, it was filled with other people's fears from when I was as young as an infant, as young as an infant. People's fears, people's expectations, people's abuse, people's words, people's, whatever was down there. And it became our story, right? You hear people talk about change your story, change your life. Change your mind, change your life. That your mind is filled with all these stories. And they're just stories, really. They're no longer your experience going on right now. Right in this moment, whatever happened in your childhood and maybe since, is it happening to you right now? Like is it in your physical experience right now? No, it's a memory. It's an emotional memory. And you can feel it in your body whenever you think about it. But if you didn't think about it, you can, feel something else, right? But you need it. That's not the way to do it. You need to feel it so that you could say, I hate this, I hate feeling like this. I hate that I have these memories. I hate it. Hate it so much that you tap into your inner core, your God within, and say, God, I need your help. I want to release all of these bubbling negativity that's in my subconscious mind, that's always there, and what I'm operating from, that I don't even, not even necessarily conscious that I'm doing it, but I am doing it. Please help me. That's what it's all about. It's about tapping into who you really are for that help, because no one on your exterior world, no counselor, no nothing, is going to be able to help you completely cure. And I say cure. You give it to God for healing, it's cured. You don't remember. You have those memories, but you're just not going to have those emotional reactions to it like you do right now. I guarantee you, that is the way to do it, is to check out your subconscious mind, allow yourself to feel it, and so that you really get a good feeling about it, even if it makes you scared. Get a really good taste of it again, and so that you can really say, F-U-C-K, I am not doing this anymore. So F-U-C, off. You really get mad. That's what I'm saying. Really get mad. And if you remember on the emotional scale, I put it up in the community tab on my channel. The emotional scale, there's grief at the very bottom. That's like the darkest feeling. Grief is the darkest feeling. It's the most dense. It's very dark and heavy. It's like carrying around baggage, okay? We all know this, unless you haven't lost someone yet. But there's the 5 phases of grief that we should move through. It's healthy movement through the phases. The next one up is anger. You're actually angry at the person that, or the whatever you lost, or you're just angry. You might be angry at someone else for it. You're just angry. But that anger is great energy if you put it to good use. And good use would be, I keep pointing at this card, but it's about the subconscious mind. Good use is about tackling your fears in your subconscious mind, giving them over to God. God, you're taking that, okay, and God slips it away. It's gone. It might creep back in again, so you give it to it again, and He takes it away again for you. Next time it comes in, it's not quite as big feeling, and then you give it to God, and God takes it away for you. Then one more time, it's a lot less. You give it to God again, He takes it away for you. And then you start feeling like this, okay? You start feeling like this because, that burden that you've been carrying around on your shoulders for so long that you didn't even know what it was. Most often, you didn't even know what it was. You might. You actually are releasing that weight off your shoulders. You're no longer carrying that cross. You're no longer carrying a cross. And how freeing is that? So let's ask the angels to see what's in store for our collective right now. Excuse me. What's in store? What can you tell us about advice and insight about all of this that we're talking about today? Thank you, angels. Each one of us has angels around us. Whether we know it or not, they're there. They're protecting us as best they can. You have to help them protect you, though, if you really want great protection, is what I'm saying. Okay. Peaceful resolution. Now talk about lifting the burdens off your shoulders by giving them to God. Peaceful resolution. There's that temperance right there. That's you wanting to find your your balance, your inner balance between your mind and your heart, listening to each other, following each other. And to sincerely follow your heart, you need to start seriously considering what's going down in your fears in the cesspool of your subconscious mind, and start looking at that and saying, is this true for me now? Is this the truth about me now? And the answer should be no, really, it should be. And if it isn't, give it to God, and God will convince you one way or another that it's not your truth. Meditation brings answers. I've always advocated. When I saw this card, you know what I thought of? I thought of the two of you meditating together. Actually taking that activity up, a daily activity together. Because I feel as though she's already meditating. This is something that she would consider doing if she's not doing right now. But, she's doing it right now. Listen to your intuition. Yeah, listen to your intuition. There's the High Priestess intuition. There's the King of Wands. You're listening to your intuition, but you've been keeping what you've been learning through your intuition to yourself. You had been, so you hadn't been making any movements, but you're all about, you want to do it now, right now, you want to do it. You just have to get yourself from knowing that you're very well protected with the aces, right? Where you're going to be, resourced for your movements forward in prosperity and abundance, love and happiness, and truth and integrity and clarity. Holy cow, right? Holy cow. Those are great. Great promises from the divine. Those are promises from the divine. You like, that's why I say you have to do the work. You have to do the work. You can't, expect God to do it without your input and action. Okay. Choose a new direction, which is possibly the new direction would be that you've been choosing a new direction from when you were here. And so the divine is saying, the angels are saying right there, that you are actually meant to follow this new path that you're on, right? But do it with forgiveness. Do it with forgiveness. Don't hold back forgiveness from yourself, possibly from this one here. Maybe if you got some hang up with this other one that you're going towards, that you feel some kind of resentment or something towards her, whatever that might be, forgive it. You've got to. You just have to, because you know what? It's not hurting anyone else but yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive anyone that, anyone that might be trying to hold you back, or anyone that might be trying to be elusive, that you think they're being elusive, but they're not. So guys, I hope that was good for you. Take care, and we will check in with you tomorrow, Friday. Bye for now.